Hello, folks. Good evening. How you doing today?
Hmm. Hey, doing good. You?
Doing well, friends. God.
Hi, good evening.
Evening. Okay, folks, we're gonna start with this session. We're gonna be short and we're gonna be practical with this one, okay? So we're gonna continue discussing about the Unit 3, ethics in the teaching and translation. And some of the topic that we got for these sessions are the veracity, objectivity, and the human dignity when we refers about ethics in teaching and translation, okay? The objective that we got for this session, folks, are, as you can appreciate on the screen, recognizes key ethical principles like, as I mentioned before, veracity, objectivity, human dignity, and responsibility in teaching and translation context, applies ethical principles to analyze and solve real life professional situations. And the last one demonstrates ethical responsibility through respectful, fair, and informed decision making. So here we got a short introduction, folks, that I would like to listen to some of you read. Do we have any volunteer for reading this? Jennifer Quaresma, could you please read the introduction? Maria Cuadra? Yes, Jennifer, go ahead.
Professional ethics place a fundamental role in guiding the behavior and decision making of individuals in their professional practice. It
I can,
involves a set of principles
sorry,
and
sorry,
values.
sorry for interrupting you, Jennifer, but I cannot hear you. There's a lot of noise
I
behind
can
you.
read it.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Did you hear me? No?
All right. Introduction. Professional ethics plays a fundamental role in guiding the behavior and decision making of individuals in their professional practice. It involves a set of principles and values such as honesty, objectivity, responsibility, and respect for human dignity. In fields like teaching and translation, ethical conduct is especially important as professionals have a direct impact on individuals and society. Teachers influence students' development, while translators are responsible for accurately conveying meaning across languages and cultures. Understanding and applying ethical principles allows professionals to act with integrity, maintain trust, and ensure fairness in their work. This lesson focuses on recognizing these principles and applying them in real life situations related to teaching and translation.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much. As you know, folks, professional ethics is about the principles, right? So the whole principles that we have been discussing, that all of them guide how we act in our work, in our studies, in the university, and in areas like teaching and translation, folks. It's especially important because remember that our decision affect other people. So when we are teaching or when we are working as a translator, right? That's why understanding and applying ethics help us act with responsibly, right? Fairly and with integrity and other values, as you can see there, like honesty. Okay. So we're gonna start, folks, with speaking questions. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to analyze those questions, and then I would like to listen to you. What do you think about them? Okay, folks, let's see the first question. What does being ethical mean to you as a future professional? What do you think about this one?
Me,
Okay, go ahead, Abigail.
as a future professional, it's mean making decisions that respect other, follow rules, and do not harm anyone.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have another volunteer for the same question? You can raise your hand, folks. Okay. Okay, let's see the second one. Can a teacher be good at teaching but still being unethically? Why or why not? Arielka Gonzalez, Gabriel Avalos, Paul Gutierrez. What do you think about this question? The number two.
I'll take that one. I think that a teacher can be good. For example, they can be good at explaining things or like the content, but they can still be unethical. For example, what in this scenario that they treat students unfairly or act dishonestly. Um, so while they can be good teachers, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're ethical, like I said. So I think teaching skills and ethical behavior are both important. But yeah, to answer the question, I think that someone can be a good teacher without being ethical.
Mm-hmm. Good. Do you think, Gabriel, that when a teacher showed favoritisms, it's acting in an ethically way?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that's unethical because you have to be fair with all students. And if you do that, then you're definitely biased and unfair.
Okay, okay, very good. Thank you very much for your answer. Let's see the question number three, folks. Have you ever experienced an unfair situation at the university? What happened? Samira, Cheryl, Snydery, Willie?
Hmm. Sure. Well, I could mention, for example, those cases when, let's say, we are competing for grades, and let's say we see another group that is not doing the same efforts that we're doing, and suddenly we see that they pass the grade. So sometimes it happens that maybe the teacher is unethical and they have some type of internal arrangement, but I think it's unfair because we are working hard and they have it the easy way.
Yeah, good. Do you think, folks, that when a teacher decide to grade without using a clear criteria, do you think that could be an unfair for you? Samira Granados, Paul Gutierrez, what do you think?
Mr. Mayrana, can you please repeat the
Yeah,
question?
uh, I said that. Do you think that when a teacher decide to grade without using clear criteria, let's suppose that this is related to oral performance,
Mhm.
and teacher decide to grade all of the student without criteria, without an evaluation assessment. Do you think that he's acting in an ethically way?
Mm,
Is that
I,
unfair for you?
I think um, well, I'm not sure if it's unethical because I don't know like what his or her intentions are behind the evaluation, but it's definitely not fair. Because
Mm-hmm.
whenever they evaluate, that's open to, I would say confusion, um, or like you get like different treatment
Mm-hmm.
compared to like when you have a rubric and you have everything stated like in writing. So you kind of know what to expect from the evaluation and
Yeah.
you know what you're being evaluated on. So, well, I think it's not unethical necessarily,
But
because
it's
like I
unfair.
said, it's unfair. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's see the next question. Number four, why is honesty important in teaching and translation? Angeline, Cecia Guadamus, Natalie Garcia, Owen, Snydery, Cheryl. What do you think about the question number four?
Hello.
Hi, Cheryl.
Um, I think honesty is important because students and readers trust the teachers or translator. If there is no honesty, the information can be wrong and cause confusion and problems.
Okay, thank you. What about the question number five, folks? What would you do if your boss asked you to do something unethical? Would you do it?
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, teacher. I am Paul. In my opinion, if my boss asks me to do something unethical, I will refuse and respectful when explain my reasons clearly. I will try to suggest a better and ethical alternative. I believe it is important to maintain values and integrity for me.
hmm Do we have another volunteer for the same question? Owen, go ahead.
Okay, what I will do if my boss asks me to do something unethical, I would say, such as just try to make understanding like it's not correct what we're doing. Additionally, I will try to explain the situation that I won't do it because of have some core values that is not permitting to me to
Mhm.
complete that action.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Wait for folks. Okay, good. Let's see the question number six. Is it ever okay to lie in a professional context? Maria, go ahead.
Um, I believe that generally it's not considered acceptable to lie in a professional context. Um, but I do believe that let's say, like the only gray area I could say,
Mm-hmm.
be to hide maybe sensitive information, like for confidentiality. But
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that's different from lying. So in general, I do believe it's not considered acceptable to lie.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's see the question number seven, folks. What is more important for you, being loyal or being honest?
Hi, teacher.
Hello,
I would
Hello, teacher.
I would say
Adriana. Adriana, you were talking, right?
no, it was me, teacher, Javiera.
Ah, okay, Javiera, sorry. Go ahead.
Um, I would say being honest is more important than being loyal. Because honesty build trust and integrity,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other hand, blind loyalty can make people hide mistakes. That happens. And but honesty help us to do the right things and be responsible in a profession.
Okay, thank you very much. Natalie, it's your turn.
Okay, teacher. I believe being honest is more important than being royal too. For example, loyalty is valuable, but if it means hiding the truth or supporting something wrong, it can become harmful. I said. And for me, honesty helps build trust and strong relationships. Even it can be uncomfortable at times, in the long run, people appreciate honesty more because it shows you integrity and respect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see the question number 8. How can a teacher show respect for a student's dignity?
May I answer too?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that a teacher can show respect for students' dignity by treating all the students equally and listening to their opinions without judging them. And for me, it's important to avoid embarrassing students in front of others and instead correct them in a supportive way. Also, being patient, understanding their difference, and encouraging participation can make students feel valued and respected in the classroom and in all things.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Thank you very much. Let's see the question number 9, folks. What could happen if a translator changes the meaning of a text? Do you think that the information can be lost? Do you think that that kind of translation uh, can lose the credibility? That kind of translation can lose the validity of itself? What do you think?
Me, teacher,
Yes,
Samira.
go ahead.
I think that changing the meaning of a text in a translation, in a translate context, I think the consequences can be massive. Like an example, in a legal context, it could
Mhm.
lead to an unfair trial or a broken contract.
Okay, thank you. Do we have another opinion for the same question? Angeline? Willie, go ahead.
Oh, sure. So, well, when a translator changes the meaning of a text, as my previous speaker was saying, there could be massive consequences. I mean, for example, in the legal or medical context, I want to give
Yeah.
an example of a class I had recently, which is actually translation too. So we had to translate some sentences from medical prescriptions. So let's say we have the sentence that says, take a tablet once daily. So if you wrongly translate that, it could say, tome una tableta 11 veces al día. So that could cause
Yeah,
serious
definitely.
consequences to the patient.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some areas, right? As you mentioned, medical area. So we have to be carefully at the moment of translating, right? Especially on the terminology that we're using. Francisco.
Thank you. Yeah, I do agree with my classmate. Really, it can definitely create um, massive consequences. And I believe that, well, of course, confusion is one of them, and also it can be a waste of time because many people use translations for legal purposes, maybe to study in another country, to go to another country precisely. So if they end up getting a translation that is not accurate, then they would have to do it again, and that can mess their whole plans.
Francisco, do you think that when talking about medical translation, do you think that we need to take into account the regionalisms terms?
Um, yeah, that can, well, I would say that the most the most recommendable way of translating like in general things would be standardization. There is actually uh like I believe it was like an institution when it comes to flying to another country, ICAO, I think it was, that precisely standardized terms in order to keep track of everything without losing any kind of credibility, and so that all institutions know what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Remember that also, folks, something important that we need to take into account when translating texts or when translating whatever area, it's the cultural awareness, okay? Because remember that sometimes we don't have the equivalent, the right equivalent of the word, so we need to take into account this one. Isamar, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that my classmates provided good examples in regards to that. And I was also thinking that meaning is not the only important thing, but also the tone or the way you say things. Because let's say that there are two companies that want to do a collaboration, but they are kind of competition as well. So imagine that they are trying to I don't know, make a deal or something like that. But if the person who is translating or interpreting in this case use a different tone, I don't know, maybe like sarcastic, that can create
Mhm.
a mess in that business meeting.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Axel, would you like to add something else? Okay, let's move on to the last question.
Hi, Professor. I would like to answer that question.
Okay.
And on my opinion, I definitely believe that we should learn about ethics in schools because when we learn about this topic, we get better information in order to be good professionals in our future roles. Because when it comes to make decisions in a job, we are not going to use all the knowledge about all the classes. Instead, we need to use our critical thinking, our values
Hmm.
about what we think it's right or what we think it's wrong.
Hmm. Okay, good. Now let's move on to this one, folks. Remember, as I said before at the beginning of the meeting, folks, um, I was mentioning about veracity, objectivity, and the human dignity. So when we talk about ethics in teaching, folks, veracity means providing accurate information and being honest with the students, right? And the objectivity, remember that this one means evaluating a student based on clear and fair criteria, as you mentioned before, right? And when we say that a test can be objective, is that it is supposed to mean to evaluate what is taught, okay? And the human dignity involves the way how we treat all students, okay? So in the I mean in this case, we have to put into practice some of the values, right? Like respect, valuing their ideas and differences that they got, okay? And some of the core characteristics that we got for teaching, we got there on the screen. Be fair, impartial. Okay, we didn't have to show favoritisms for some students. We have to respect all of them, and promote in a safe learning environment. And most important, act as a role models. Okay, that is in teaching. And what about it in translation? What do you think, folks, that veracity is when we talk about translation? Do you think that veracity is related to maintaining the original message? Of course, it is, folks. It is, okay? So when we talk about veracity in translation, folks, means that we need to maintain, we need to stay faithful with the original message, okay? We need to ensure that the meaning of the text remain accurate and is not changed or manipulated. And sometimes if we cannot find the right equivalent of the phrase or of the word, so we can leave a note explaining why we are using that word that probably is not the correct one. Okay. And when we talk about objectivity, folks, in translation, means that we need to be neutral and not allowing, okay, not allowing our personal beliefs to influence in the translation, right? So we need to be neutral, as I said before. So we cannot include emotions, personal opinions in this one. Okay, so we or the translator should focus only on conveying the original message without involving those things. And regarding to the human dignity, folks, in translation means representing people, as you know, the cultures, because as you said, as we said before, so when translating, when talking about translation, means that we need to know about the cultures, right? So the ways how to can understand that, right? Now, let's see. As you can appreciate there, we got some of the core characteristics in translation, like maintain accuracy and fidelity of the original meaning, okay, message, and avoid altering meaning, respect confidentiality, especially in some areas like medicine, legal, and so and many others, okay, and remain to be neutral. Now, we got here, folks. We're gonna analyze, okay? We're gonna analyze an scenario related to teaching, and we got some guided questions that I would like to you to read carefully the scenario. Don't answer the questions. You can support with your question to give your own opinion about this, okay? So let's see. Let's see here. I'm gonna copy the link on the chat box of this session, and you can enter there and start writing your own opinion about this. Okay, folks? Let's see.
Okay.
Let me know if you can enter through this link. Check the chat box, please, and start completing that. I'm gonna share this. So on the left side, we got the women's opinion, and on the right side, the man's opinion. Don't forget to jot down your name, your full name at the beginning, okay? Then you can use the point and start writing your own opinion, okay? Let me
Okay.
know if you can write.
Disculpe, Mr. Mairena, ¿dónde encuentro yo el link? Porque no, estoy un poco perdida ahí.
Teacher, uh, I can write in this moment.
¿Por qué no puede escribir? ¿No le permite escribir en el documento o you're busy?
No sé si
Karen,
es porque no sé si es porque estoy de mi teléfono y tiene que
Yo
ser
no
una
puedo,
computadora.
no puedo ver el link, mister. No veo el link.
lo voy a volver a copiar ahí en el chat.
Ok,
Se
porque sí.
acaba de unir.
No, estoy desde que usted estaba, desde que comenzó con la
Ok,
introducción, que la muchacha estaba leyendo y todo.
ok.
Y no.
Ahí lo
That's it,
acabo de
teacher.
mandar nuevamente.
Ahora sí lo veo.
Ok.
Gracias.
La que no puede escribir tal vez debe ser por la aplicación que tal vez no la anda en su teléfono para poder editar el documento. Porque si usted se fija ahí en la pantalla, sus demás compañeros están escribiendo.
Entonces deme chance de buscar la lacto y abrirla aquí nuevamente, porque no sé qué pasa.
Ok,
That's it.
ok. Chicos, mientras van escribiendo, ¿cómo van con las tareas? ¿Van entregando en tiempo y forma?
What homework?
O sea,
Which, which homework, teacher?
me refiero de la semana 7 hasta la 9.
Si no se enviaron la de esas, se pueden volver a enviar.
No, recuerde que hay una fecha límite ahí, un
Ah,
deadline.
ok.
Teacher, ¿cómo accedo al documento? Es que me había quedado sin señal.
Ahí en el chat box del Zoom, ahí está el link. ¿Lo encontró?
No, no me aparece. ¿Será que lo puedo volver a enviar, por favor?
Sí, ahí va. Revisa ahorita.
Teacher, en el documento no entiendo muy bien. Las dos preguntas te van a funcionar en una
No,
sola. Es solo
las preguntas están como directrices para que ustedes se apoyen y den su opinión al respecto,
ah,
con respecto al escenario.
ok.
No, no es que me van a responder las preguntas, ¿vale? Natalia, ahora sí puedo abrir el documento.
Sí, listo, profe, gracias.
Ok. Todos los que me están respondiendo las preguntas, chicos, no lo voy a tomar en cuenta, ¿oyeron? Las preguntas están ahí como preguntas directrices para que a usted les ayude a ustedes a formar su personal opinion about the scenario. Pero los que me están poniendo las preguntas con sus respuestas no las voy a tomar en cuenta. Felicito a los que han participado, chicos, a los que han estado ahí constantemente con su participación en cada sesión, igual a los que han completado, ¿verdad? Cada uno de sus opiniones, ¿verdad? En las diferentes sesiones que hemos tenido. Eh, por el día de hoy ahí quedaríamos, chicos. Una vez que cortemos la llamada, voy a dejar 3 minutos hábiles más para todos aquellos que todavía no han completado el cuadrito y lo completen, ¿oyeron? Y así pues nos estaríamos viendo el próximo domingo a la misma hora, ¿verdad? Y siempre recordándoles, ¿verdad?